Dear students, a very good morning to all. Welcome you all to BA Part 2nd English Literature class. Today we are going to discuss William Cooper and his poem My Mother's Picture. William Cooper, he was born in 1731 and he died in 1800. He occupies a distinctive place in English poetry and is the best representative of the transition from Augustan values to Romanticism. He is called the pre-Romantic writer and he depicts the transition from Augustan values to Romantic era. He reflects the true qualities of both the eras, whether it is the Augustan era and the Romantic era. Cooper lost his mother when he was only 6 years old. Temperamentally sensitive, he was given to bouts of severe depression and had even attempted suicide. His love attempts also failed, so this added to his grief. He has written various poems which are full of personal anguish. They are The Castaway and the present poem on the receipt of my mother's picture. यदि हम बात करें विलियम कूपर की, तो विलियम कूपर जो है, इनका जन्म 1731 ईस्वी में हुआ था और इनकी मृत्यु 1800 ईस्वी में हुई। ये इंग्लिश पोइट्री में एक अपना अलग ही स्थान रखते हैं। इन्हें ऑगस्टन एरा, जो कि रोमांटिक से पहले का था, जिसमें पोप, ड्राइडन, ये सारे राइटर्स आते हैं, उसकी वैल्यूज को भी रिफ्लेक्ट करती है इसकी पोइट्री। और रोमांटिक एरा में जो लव फॉर नेचर, ह्यूमन सेंटिमेंट्स, अदर थिंग्स हैं, उनको भी रिफ्लेक्ट करती है। कूपर की माँ उनके बचपन में ही, मतलब कूपर जब बहुत छोटे थे, 6 साल के थे मात्र, तब ही उनकी माँ की मृत्यु हो गई थी। और ये बहुत ही सेंटिमेंटल थे, मतलब बहुत ही भावुक प्रवृत्ति के व्यक्ति थे और कभी कभी इसी कारण से इनको डिप्रेशन भी हो जाता था। ये डिप्रेशन में आ जाते थे और इन्होंने एक बार तो सुसाइड भी अटेम्प्ट किया था, आत्महत्या की कोशिश की थी। उसके साथ ही बाद में जब ये बड़े हुए तो इनके जो लव अटैम्प्ट्स थे, जिस लेडी से वो लव करते थे, वो भी मीन्स उसके लव को रेसिप्रोकेट नहीं कर पाई थी। इसी कारण उनको और भी दुख हुआ था। इनकी बहुत सारी पोएम्स ऐसी हैं जिनमें कि ये पर्सनल पेन की बात करते हैं, व्यक्तिगत दुख की बात करते हैं, जैसे कि प्रेजेंट पोएम ऑन द रिसीप्ट ऑफ माय मदर्स पिक्चर है। और कास्टअवे भी एक पोएम है जिसमें कि इन्होंने अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में, उसमें जो पेन है उसके बारे में बताया है। द पोइट when given a picture of his dead mother, अब यदि हम इस पोएम की थीम की बात करें तो इस पोएम की थीम क्या है? The poet when given a picture of his dead mother is overtaken by nostalgia and a sense of personal loss. Beginning with a realization of his loss and the difficult period he has had since his mother's death, he first dwells on the day of her death and then the period of grief which followed it. He then recollects the home of his childhood and proceeds to dwell on his childhood memories. Coleridge's poem Frost at Midnight is a poem of this kind. यदि हम प्रेजेंट पोएम की बात करें तो यहाँ पे ये जो पोएम स्टार्ट होती है तो उनको एक पिक्चर दी गई है उनकी कजिन के द्वारा, उनकी डेड मदर की। तो जैसे ही वो अपनी माँ की पिक्चर अपने हाथ में लेते हैं तो वो पुरानी यादों में खो जाते हैं, नॉस्टैल्जिक हो जाते हैं, पास्ट में चले जाते हैं और फिर उन्हें वही दुख जो उन्होंने बचपन में महसूस किया था, वही दुख महसूस होने लगता है। और फिर वो उस डिफ़िकल्ट टाइम के बारे में सोचते हैं जो उन्होंने फेस किया अपनी माँ की डेथ के बाद। सबसे पहले वो उस डे के बारे में सोचते हैं जब उनकी माँ की मृत्यु हुई थी। बहुत छोटे थे, उनको पता भी नहीं था कि मृत्यु क्या होती है। फिर उसके बाद में उनके जीवन में क्या क्या दुख आए, उसके बारे में उन्होंने बताया है। फिर वो बताते हैं अपने होम के बारे में, जिस घर में वो अपनी माँ के साथ रहते थे बचपन में। और उससे जुड़ी हुई बहुत सारी यादें हैं। उनके मेड्स उनको किस तरह से ट्रीट करते थे, उसकी मदर जो है जब वो नाराज़ होता था तो वो उसको किस तरह से शुगर कैंडी दिया करती थी, वो सारी चीज़ें उन्होंने बचपन की रिकलेक्ट की है इस पोएम में। इसी तरह से इन्होंने एक और पोएम लिखी है, फ्रॉस्ट एट मिडनाइट, वो भी उनके पर्सनल लॉस की बात करती है। तो आज हम बात करते हैं पोएम की, ऑन द रिसीप्ट ऑफ माई मदर्स पिक्चर, द गिफ्ट ऑफ माई कजिन एन बोधम। इनकी कजिन है एन बोधम, जिन्होंने इनको ये पिक्चर दी है उनकी माँ की। ओहो दैट दोज लिप्स हैड लैंग्वेज, life has passed with me but roughly since I heard thee last. Those lips are thine, thy own sweet smiles I see, the same that oft in childhood solaced me. Voice only fails, else how distinct they say, grieve not my child, chase all thy fears away. The meek intelligence of those dear eyes, blessed be the art that can immortalize, the art that baffles time's tyrannic claim to quench it, here shines on me still the same. अब राइटर जब अपनी कजिन से अपनी माँ की पिक्चर गेन करता है, उसके बाद उनके क्या भाव हैं उनको इन पंक्तियों में बहुत अच्छे से रिफ्लेक्ट किया है राइटर ने। ओहो दैट दोज लिप्स हैड लैंग्वेज, आई विश दैट द लिप्स ऑफ माई मदर विच आर पेंटेड इन दिस पेंटिंग कुड स्पीक। लैंग्वेज का मतलब क्या है? दे कैन स्पीक। दोज लिप्स मीन्स द लिप्स विच आर पेंटेड विच आर दैट ऑफ माई मदर इन द पेंटिंग। इस पेंटिंग में जो लिप्स बनाए गए हैं मेरी मदर के, ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो अभी बोलने वाली हैं। बहुत ही लाइवली पिक्चर है। जब वो उस पिक्चर को देखता है तो उनके मुंह से क्या निकलता है? काश कि माँ का ये चित्र बोल पाता। ओहो दैट दोज लिप्स हैड लैंग्वेज, लाइफ हैज पास्ड विद मी बट रफली सिंस आई हर्ड द लास्ट। After his mother's death, he had lived a very painful and distressful life. Since I heard you last, had lived a very painful and distressful life. Since I heard you last means since your death. जब से तुम्हारी मृत्यु हुई है, तब से मेरी लाइफ कैसी हो गई थी? बहुत ही पेनफुल हो गई थी, बहुत ही दुख भरी हो गई थी। Those lips are thine, thy own sweet smiles I see. The lips which are painted in this picture are exactly like your real lips. Thy own sweet smiles I see. I can see the pleasant smile of yours in this picture, which is really the same as you used to have when you were alive. The similar smile is there on those lips. The same that oft in childhood solaced me. Oft in childhood, oft means often. His mother would often console him by smiling to him when he was just a child. जब वो बहुत छोटा था तो कई बार उसकी माँ उसको सांत्वना देने के लिए मुस्कुरा दिया करती थी। The same that oft in childhood solaced me. Voice only fails, else how distinct they say. Voice only fails. The only thing that lacks in this picture is that the lips are unable to speak. They don't have any language because this is just a picture. Else, otherwise, distinctively or plainly. Else, how distinct they say. In other ways, they seem to say. ये पिक्चर है, इसीलिए उनके जो होठ हैं उनसे बोल नहीं निकल सकते। अदरवाइज तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो बहुत कुछ कहना चाह रहे हों। वॉइस ओनली फेल्स, एल्स हाउ डिस्टिंक्ट दे से, ग्रीव नॉट माई चाइल्ड, चेज ऑल दाई फियर्स अवे। ग्रीव नॉट माई चाइल्ड, ग्रीव नॉट, डू नॉट बी सैड, डू नॉट वीप, चेज डिसमिस, फियर्स एप्रीहेंशंस। द मदर इज ट्राइंग टू सोलिस हिज चाइल्ड even in the picture that you are not supposed to have pain, on my death. You are not supposed to grieve on my death. Whatever fears you do have, chase them away, dismiss them. The meek intelligence of those dear eyes, the meek intelligence, the look of sympathy and kindness that was there in the eyes of my loving mother, the meek intelligence of those dear eyes, dear loving eyes. In the eyes of his mother, he can see the sympathy and kindness for him. Blessed be the art that can immortalize. Blessed, thanks, it is to be blessed, the art of the painter, which has immortalized my mother's picture. So he says that art is very powerful. It can immortalize what we cannot have permanently. मेरी माँ अब मेरे पास लंबे समय तक नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी इस पिक्चर के द्वारा मेरी माँ मेरे साथ है, इमोर्टलाइज हो गई है वो. द आर्ट दैट baffles time's tyrannic claim. The art of the painter baffles, defeats the tyrannic claim of the time, cruel attempts of the time. Time decided to take away my mother, but picture of this painter has defeated time as well, who took away my mother from me. To quench it, quench means satisfy or destroy the intelligence. Here shines on me still the same. This picture of my mother is reflecting the real love of her in her usual old manner in this picture. So, here, when Anne Botham sent him a present of his mother's picture, the picture he got, it was a real surprise for him, and then he wrote this poem. He says that since her death, he has had a very painful and wretched life. He looks at the lips in the picture and says that they are painted exactly like that my mother used to have. They had the same smile which she had when she was alive. The poet says that the smile on the lips is exactly like her real smile. It is the very same smile with which she used to console him when he was a child. The only difference is that they cannot speak. He always had a vague fear that he would never have salvation. His mother's smiling face seemed to tell him not to weep or fear for that. She told him to dismiss all his apprehensions. He sees a look of silent sympathy and kindness which he used to get from his mother when she was alive. The poet thanks the immortalizing art of the painter, which can thus defeat the cruel attempt of time to destroy it. He says that the kind look of his mother shines before him in the picture exactly as she did in reality. अब जब अपनी माँ की तस्वीर को अपने आँखों के सामने देखते हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि उनका जीवन जब से उनकी माँ गई हैं उनकी लाइफ से तब से दुखपूर्ण हो गया है. और जब अपनी माँ की पिक्चर के होठों की तरफ वो देखता है तो उसको लगता है कि उनके होठ वैसे ही हैं जैसे कि उसके बचपन की यादें हैं. अभी भी उनमें मुस्कान है, बस शब्द मात्र नहीं है. अभी भी उनकी मुस्कान बचपन की तरह उसे सांत्वना दिया करती है, कंसोल करती है. उसे लगता है कि जैसे इस चित्र के माध्यम से मुस्कुराते हुए ओठ उसे सांत्वना प्रदान कर रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं कि भयभीत मत हो, दुख को और डर को मन से निकाल दो. इस चित्र में उसकी माँ एक दया का प्रतिरूप है और कवि कहता है कि इस पेंटर ने, इस कलाकार ने मेरी माँ को अमर बना दिया है. और समय जो है जिसने मेरी माँ को नष्ट किया था उस समय को भी इसने पराजित कर दिया है. तस्वीर में उसकी माँ का दयापूर्ण चेहरा बिल्कुल उसी तरह चमक रहा है जैसा वास्तव में उसकी जीवित अवस्था में चमकता था। नेक्स्ट, faithful remembrancer of one so dear. Oh, welcome guest, though unexpected here, who biddest me honor with an artless song. Affectionate, a mother lost so long, I will obey, not willingly alone, but gladly. As the precept were her own, and while that face renews my filial grief, fancy shall weave a charm for my relief, shall steep me in Elysian reverie, a momentary dream that thou art she. अब फिर से जो राइटर है इन पंक्तियों में क्या कह रहा है? फेथफुल रिमेम्बरेंसर, दिस पिक्चर इज द फेथफुल थिंग विच कैन रिमाइंड मी ऑफ माई मदर. मेरी माँ के बारे में याद दिला रही है ये पिक्चर. Faithful remembrancer of one so dear. This picture is making me remember the one person in my life which was very dear to me. Oh, welcome guest. He is welcoming this picture like a guest. Though unexpected, he never expected that he will suddenly get his mother's picture. He don't have any picture of his mother. Here, though unexpected here, you were unexpected. The picture of his mother was unexpected, just like the guest who comes suddenly, who biddest me honor with an artless song. Biddest, orders, artless, simple. Who biddest me honor with an artless song. Song, music. Affectionate, a mother lost so long. Affectionate, the mother who used to be very affectionate towards me, who used to show and shower her love on him unconditionally. A mother lost so long. The mother whom I have lost since I was just a child. I will obey, not willingly alone. I will obey all the commands that she will give to me if she comes back to my life, not willingly alone. I don't want to be alone now, but gladly. But gladly, but very happily, as the precept were her own. Precept, rules of conduct. जो भी नियम कानून वो बनाएंगी मेरे लिए, जो भी वो बनाती हैं उनको मैं ग्लैडली फॉलो करूँगा. एंड वाइल दैट फेस रिन्यूज माई फिलियल ग्रीफ. फिलियल ग्रीफ, ग्रीफ फॉर वंस पेरेंट्स. एंड वाइल दैट फेस रिन्यूज माई फिलियल ग्रीफ, द फेस दैट इज पेंटेड इन दिस पिक्चर, दिस रिन्यूज माई grief for my mother, my pain which I felt when I lost my mother. This picture has renewed that pain. Fancy shall weave a charm for my relief. Fancy, imagination के सेंस में आया है. Whims, fancy shall weave a charm for my relief. Weave means बुनना किसी चीज को. A charm for my relief. तो मैं क्या करूँगा, एक सपना बुन लूँगा. For my relief, that will provide me solace and relief, जो मुझे सांत्वना देगा, रिलीफ देगा मेरे पेन से. Shall steep me in Elysian reverie. Steep means soak, plunge करना किसी चीज को. Shall steep me in Elysian reverie. Elysian means Elysian actually is an imaginary place which it inherits, which gives eternal solace, or which can we say derived from Elysium, a place of happiness, inherits, divinely blissful, which is blissful, which is heavenly as well. Reverie, daydream, we can say a momentary dream that thou art she. I will have a momentary dream, क्योंकि डे ड्रीम कैसे होते हैं, क्षणिक होते हैं. हमारी जरा सी भी नैप में आंख लग जाती है तो हमें छोटे छोटे से ड्रीम्स आते हैं। तो वो चाहता है कि वो उस ड्रीम में क्या देखे, अपनी माँ को, कि वो जीवित होकर उसके पास वापस से आ गई है। So here, what does the writer say? He is addressing the picture of his mother. He says that it is a perfect representative of his mother who is dead. The picture brings his dead mother before his eyes. He did not expect to receive the picture after so long a period that has passed after his mother's death. The picture is like a welcome guest to him. He is very happy to see the picture. He says that the picture seems to ask him to celebrate the memory of his long lost mother with a song, though simple and unskillful, expressing his love towards his mother. The poem is definitely an artless song to memorize his mother. He says that he would do it not only without raising any objections, but with the greatest pleasure to himself, as if the command had come directly from his mother. Writing a song in the memory of his mother will give him a great joy, as doing something, obeying his mother's command, would have given him. Writing this poem would be a most pleasant activity for him. The picture reminds the poet his dead mother, and so he is full of grief for his dead mother. However, the poet imagines with joy the sight of that face of his mother in the picture. Awakens the sorrow for his mother, yet he would console himself with the magic influence of imagination. He would indulge in the happy dream that the figure in the portrait was actually his mother. That will solace him. तो इन लाइंस में कवि कहता है कि हालांकि उसकी माँ को गए हुए बहुत समय हो चुका है, लेकिन फिर भी जैसे ही वो इस चित्र को देखता है तो उसे अपनी माँ की याद आ जाती है, और ये चित्र उनके लिए एक मेहमान की तरह है जो कि ऑनरेबल है, सम्मानीय है। बहुत प्रसन्न होते हैं इस चित्र को प्राप्त करके वो, और अपनी माँ की खोई हुई स्मृतियों में वो खो जाते हैं और चाहते हैं कि उस स्मृति को याद रखने के लिए वो कोई गीत लिखें। और ये कविता शायद उसी गीत का परिणाम है, उसी सोच का परिणाम है। वो कहता है कि गीत लिखने का जो भाव मेरे मन में आया है वो मेरी माँ की आज्ञा के समान ही मुझे प्रिय है। मैं इस क्षण को गंवाना नहीं चाहता। वो कल्पना की सहायता से अपने हृदय में आनंद के भाव ले आता है और खुद को सांत्वना प्रदान करता है। और फिर वो सोचता है कि थोड़े समय के लिए वो ये मान लेगा कि ये माँ का चित्र नहीं है, बल्कि उसकी माँ स्वयं आ गई है। So let us come to the next lines. My mother, when I learned it that thou was dead, say, was thou conscious of the tears I shed? Hovered thy spirit over thy sorrowing son? Wretch, even then, life's journey just begun. Perhaps thou gavest me, though unseen, a kiss, perhaps a tear. If souls can weep in bliss, ah, that maternal smile, it answers yes. I heard the bell tolled on thy burial day. I saw the years that bore thee slow away, and turning from my nursery window, drew a long, long sigh, and wept a last adieu. My mother, when I learnt, knew, or heard that thou was dead. Thou means you. I became conscious of the fact that you are dead. I was told that you are no more in this world. Say, was thou conscious of the tears I shed? Conscious? Were you aware of the fact that I wept a lot on your death? When I heard that you are dead, the tears rolled down of my eyes. Say, was thou conscious of the tears I shed? Were you conscious of the fact that I wept on your death? Hover thy spirit over thy sorrowing son. Hover. Hover means linger. Linger the spirit. Sorrowing, weeping. Was your spirit hovering around me when I was making my grief explain my love for you? क्या आपकी आत्मा मेरे आसपास ही थी जब मैं आपकी मृत्यु पर शोक मना रहा था? Wretch, even then, life's journey just begun. Wretch? Miserable being. I was just a miserable being at the time. Life's journey just begun. Because that was just the commencement of my life. I was nearly 6 years old when I lost you. I was not even aware of the fact that you are no more in this world. Wretch, even then. I was just a little child, miserable being at that time. Life's journey just begun. The life journey of mine was started at that time only. Perhaps thou gavest me, though unseen, a kiss. Though unseen, though I did not see, or I have not been even conscious of the fact that when I was weeping, you were kissing me, seeing my wretched condition. Perhaps a tear, if souls can weep in bliss. If the souls are allowed that they can weep, you might have wept for me, you might have shed a tear for me as well. If the souls can weep in bliss. Because they are reaching in a blissful condition after death, the souls cannot weep. But still, if they might have been allowed to weep, you might have wept for me. Ah, that maternal smile. It answers yes. The smile that he can see in this picture is smiling back to him, and it is reflecting that definitely my mother wept for me. She was equally unhappy with the sad demise of herself. I heard the bell tolled on thy burial day. I heard the bell that is rung when someone is being buried. The day you were buried, I heard the bell that was being rung in the churchyard. I saw the hearse that bore thee slow away. Here's the carriage in which the coffin is carried to the churchyard. I saw that. I heard the bell tolled on thy burial day. I saw the hearse that bore thee. Thee means thy body slow away. That was slowly carrying your body in the coffin. I saw that carriage. And turning from my nursery window, drew a long, long sigh and wept a last adieu. Turning, moving away from the nursery window, from the window of my room in which I was standing and seeing this scenario, I heaved a sigh and wept a last adieu, uttered my last farewell to you in tears. The poet asks his mother whether she knew how much he wept on her death. He asks her whether she wept on seeing him in a wretched condition. The poet answers the questions as he wishes, saying that she must have given him a kiss, though he was not conscious of it. The poet was unconscious of the kiss because it was the kiss of a spirit and not of a physical person. He says that his mother must have wept for his wretchedness, if it was possible for souls which had escaped imprisonment of the body to shed tears. The poet then observes the smile of his mother's lips in the picture. He interprets it as confirming his imagination about his mother's spirit's kiss and the tear in her eyes. He heard the bell that rang slowly on the day she was dead and she was going to be buried. He saw the carriage which conveyed her corpse slowly towards the church. Seeing her corpse being moved away to church, he moved away from the picture, from the window of his room, from where he was looking. He heaved a deep sigh and uttered his last farewell to her in tears. तो कभी इन पंक्तियों में कहता है कि क्या उसकी माँ को ये पता है कि जब उसने अपनी माँ की मृत्यु के बारे में सुना, तो वह कितना रोया था। तो फिर अपनी माँ से पूछता है कि क्या मेरी इतनी दुखी अवस्था को देखकर आप भी रोई थी? फिर स्वयं ही इसका उत्तर देता है, कहता है कि मुझे पता है कि आप भी हम अवश्य ही रोई होंगी और मुझे पता नहीं चला होगा, लेकिन आपने मुझे किस भी किया होगा, क्योंकि एक आत्मा ने किस किया था, इसीलिए शायद मैं इसे नहीं पहचान पाया होगा। आत्मा तो शरीर के बंधन से मुक्त होती हैं, रोने में असमर्थ होती हैं, लेकिन फिर भी आप उस अवस्था में भी मेरे लिए आंसू बहा रही होंगी। फिर जब वो अपने माँ की पिक्चर में होठों पर उनकी मुस्कान को देखता है तो उसको लगता है कि उसकी माँ उसे हाँ में उत्तर दे रही है कि हाँ, उन्होंने उसको किस भी किया था, उसके लिए रोई भी थी, आंसू भी बहाए थे। फिर वो कहता है कि जिस दिन उसकी माँ को दफनाया गया था ना, उस दिन हालांकि वो बहुत छोटा था, 6 साल का था मात्र, उसने घंटियों की आवाज़ को सुना था, उस गाड़ी को भी देखा था जिसमें उसकी माँ के मृत शरीर को ले जाया जा रहा था। उस समय वो अपनी खिड़की में खड़ा था और वहाँ से दूर हट गया था और उसने गहरी गहरी सांसें भर के अपनी माँ को अंतिम विदाई भी दी थी। Thank you all for today. It's enough. The remaining part of this poem we will continue tomorrow.